Well, millions of voters braved the heat to vote in the third phase of India's elections. More than half the seats in parliament would be elected at the end of this stage, but counting will only start on the 4th of June, with results expected on the same day. The next phase of voting in the world's largest election will begin next week. If more, Ishan Garg joins us live from Agra in Uttar Pradesh. Ishan, the heat in India has affected voter turnout in previous voting phases. How has this third stage been affected?
Well, it certainly looks like heat has had a massive role to play in the slightly lower turnout than what we were expecting. I've got the data in front of me from the Election Commission of India, which is accurate as of 5 p.m. We've yet to get the final data. But as of 5, the approximate voter turnout across states in this third phase was about 60.19%, which means that roughly 40%, that's just almost half the population, has not voted, and heat might have had actually a role to play here. Earlier in the day, we were speaking to some of the local volunteer and local officials here who were telling us about the kind of preparations they've made to ensure that they're getting maximum amount of voters from their homes to this booth here.
वोटों में बड़ा उत्साह है। वोटों को लाइन ले जाने के लिए यहाँ पर बैटरी चालित वाहन उपलब्ध कराए गए हैं, जिससे माँ बहनों को लाके बूथ तक ले जाके वोट डलवा के छोड़ा जा रहा है घर तक। और इस परिसर में बहुत सारी हरियाली है और यहाँ पे पोलिंग पार्टी के लिए पंखों की उचित व्यवस्था की गई है, ठंडा पानी की व्यवस्था की गई है प्रधान जी की तरफ से और समस्त ग्रामवासियों की तरफ से।
गर्मी तो बहुत तेज पड़ रही है और इस गर्मी में सब लोग निकल कर के आ रहे हैं कि हमारी सरकार अच्छी हो जाए।
Now, these kind of preparations must have been made in a lot of polling booths across the country. But if we look at the data provided by the Election Commission of India, which is now publishing the estimated voter turnout by the end of polling, which I've got in front of me, it would suggest that there's huge disparity in terms of how people have come out. In the state of Uttar Pradesh, the approximate trend says 55% will be approximately the voter turnout. In Bihar, again, big northern Indian state, the numbers are about 55%. But if we look at smaller states like Goa, the number goes up really high as 72%. And in other states like Assam, the number is also as high, meaning clearly that the environmental factors have played a role in certain parts of the country.
Well, Ishan, in a related development today, so key opposition figure and also Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, he's having his plea for interim bail heard by India's Supreme Court. Now, his detention period has now been extended to 20th May after today's court hearings. Has there been any reaction from opposition parties?
Well, the low voter turnouts in the elections was certainly causing a big problem from the opposition parties. But this is one big problem, the continued arrest of Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, whose custody has now been extended. And we're starting to get some initial reactions from different parties of the India Alliance, this big patchwork coalition of regional parties. One of the parties from the state of Maharashtra has said that because Mr. Kejriwal was making big speeches against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that's why he's been put in jail, alleging essentially that the government has been using state machinery against the political opponents. We've also seen statements coming from the Communist Party of India, which has said that it finds Mr. Kejriwal's extended custody to be deeply problematic. The Aam Aadmi Party, which rules the Delhi state, has also said that this certainly means that the party will not be able to contend elections properly because one of its biggest campaigners, the Chief Minister himself, is currently in jail. The Supreme Court of the country, however, is going to continue hearing the case, and it's likely to pronounce a verdict on the extension or quashing the custody of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.